My country people, they welcome on to Hot Banter with the Banter Queens on top Universal TV Africa. My name is Posh Lady, aka Ajibo for Skin, Bako for Mouth. And with me inside the studio now.
My name is El Giver, the gift that keeps on giving. Welcome to another exciting episode of Hot Banter.
And they don't lie when they call me the senior woman. Mufasa, not Mustafa, the queen of the Pride Land, the AB to the ABJ. Welcome to Hot Banter.
And true to the topic, when it be say we actually want dissect, when it be say one pusher inside the studio, one talk about the girl child education. We'll go for this shinking break. When we come back, we will continue from where we stop.
Welcome back to the show, Hot Banter, right here on Universal TV Africa, where we are discussing girl child education with your banter queens. So let's get into, they say girl child education. A lot of people have a notion when they say girl child education, meaning that you give a girl child, the same opportunity, or when it comes to education, as you would give a male child. For some other people, they have it in their head as well, just giving her the
equip her, just make she get skilled and all that.
Make she know things. You get. For some people, the people coin it differently, like that. But what is the generally accepted girl child education definition or girl child education term? When you hear it, what's the general thing that you
layman definition?
I'm going to speak English and pidgin. What's that thing that comes to people's mind when they hear girl child education? A lot of people have different ways that they speak about it. Because if you ask me as a person, I would tell you, when girl child education, equipping a girl to just be able to be independent, equipping a girl to be able to stand for herself, equipping a girl to be able to say, you know what, I can decide I want to be an engineer, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a fashion designer, whatever it is. So I don't know if it's the same for you guys, or if my definition is what's generally accepted.
It's the same for me, but I think the general definition, you hear people say, once they hear girl child education, the first thing that comes to their mind is giving the girl child education.
Formal education.
Formal education. Yeah, make sure she's been schooled. She passes through the whole level of education that we have. That's what comes to some people's mind. But if you ask me as well, it's equipping the girl child, to be able to stand on our own, to grow so many skills.
When it comes to girl child education, it encompasses all of that, equipping her to have this mindset that she can be whoever she wants to be.
Yeah.
But before you can be whoever you want to be, you have to have formal education. Before you decide that I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a lawyer, I'm going to be an engineer, you have to have an education. You have to go to the 4 walls of the school. So you're going to start from your primary school to your secondary school, and then tertiary university, or tertiary education rather. And why why the world focuses on girl child education is because you have a lot more girls that are out of school. I think in Nigeria we have almost, I don't know the figures, I am not sure, but I think it's around maybe 10 million girls that are out of school in Nigeria, right? So that's why they are focusing on the girl child education. In different countries, when you're talking about, it's like, let me not say different countries. In Nigeria, for example, the North, they'll rather send a boy to school than send a girl to school. So you have more out of school girls than boys. So that's why the UN, focuses on the International Day of the Girl Child. Everybody's talking about girl child education because you have a lot more girls who are out of school than you have boys.
Well, why do we have that prevailing in our society? Because for Nigeria, I think that when it comes to education, we take it really pretty serious. Forget the people that tell you the normal notion education is a scam, but we take education really serious. So why do we still have that? Why do we still have this as a conversation? Why is it still something that we still sit down and say, oh, let's bring it to the table? Because the girl child is still not educated in this time and in this age.
You know, some people go tell you, say, taking the girl child to school are waste of money. Because at the end of the day, nobody say she will use the family to do anything. She will still end up for man house to become full-time housewife. They still get that thing up there. But not be true. We get a lot of women when they say go school, don't marry, and then they be working class women. Then they hustle, they do other things. So why you go subject the girl child, say, because you will end up for man house, you know, will can't go school. Like you said in the north, they don't do that thing where if they have like 6 kids and one is a girl, or one is a boy, let me say, the rest are girls. They'll send the boy and then leave the girls not to go to school because they feel say they waste their money, they waste resources on top the girl child. But not be so it's supposed to be. Because even the girl self, if she grow for that kind of family, you get how she go grow. They think say okay, they don't sideline or school for one corner. Now the boy child, now they like pass. We when it be say, we be the girls for the house. Now it gets one story when it be say I go like share. You get this man, he gets 6 children. Now make I say 4 girls and 1 boy. So amongst all of them, now only the boy now is sent to school. The girls come they ask, and they know they feel they approach their father. Now their mother they approach. They say, why you say their brother they go school and them they not they go school. The funny part is they don't be saying that the boy be first child when they go say maybe senior pikin go school first before the younger ones follow. This boy now 9 be the like the 4th pikin. So they born the first one, born second one, born third one. As they born the 4th one, now baby boy. Immediately, he not even reach the age when he's supposed to go to school. They don't put him for school. That's because the papa feel say in they invest in this boy child. Any girl pikin when he could spend this kind of money, at the end of the day, na man will go carry him, marry him for house. But not be so it's supposed to be. Especially for this country when we say we find ourselves. You can't tell me say if you born plenty girls now, all the children when you get, they are all girls. You will not school them, you don't go educate them, give them formal education, say because you don't believe in a girl child supposed to go to school or girl child supposed they equipped to be able to stand on her own. No.
See, on a lighter note, I dey envy people who get plenty girls for their house. You know why? I know it's not because of anything. They are proper investments. Now you hear people say, for a lot of people, they'll tell you, when parents get older, it's the girl that always comes back to take care. The boy just goes around, does his own thing.
And by the time you get your family, you focus on them.
No reason say you get like 7 babes for your house. I promise you, and you've educated them, you've given them, any man ask my mind, I did bill you die. I bill you
go collect.
You collect. My child went to secondary school. She went to university, has a first degree, has a master's, has PhD, and you think that you come and pay 250 on top of her head.
No. What's 250?
You are not ready. You are not ready.
And apart from the 250,
if I don't collect 300 million naira, call me
I said
crazy.
the car when you say enter inside the compound, now I'll take judge you first.
And people don't know how when you have a girl, apart from the whole educating her, there's I'm trying to find the word for it, but it's not be psychological. I don't know how to put it, but let me try to just explain it. There's something that comes with growth when you talk about a girl. Girls know how to take something really tiny and make it big or make it blossom. For a man, before they will attack me, because it's black, let's leave it as black. And that's how it's supposed to be. For a girl, the girl tries to say, what if I can make this black gray? What if I can make this black ash or make it something? That is what a girl is thinking about. So imagine that you educate a girl. You teach her properly how to turn water into wine, right? She's going to think, okay, I've turned this thing into wine. How can I now sell it, make money, and be able to probably maybe develop this or develop that? That is why I feel like it's very, very important and to educate a girl. most especially. And I'm not even trying to sideline the boys, so that's not what I'm trying to do. But there are a lot of benefits that a society will get. There's a lot of benefits that even the parents themselves will
In
get.
keeping the girl
Talking
formal
about education, there
education.
is one, I don't know how they put it, like an adage or something where they say educate the girl child and you educate the world.
The world.
Yeah.
Something like that. Because, like you said earlier, when you educate the girl, apart from her wanting to make things better, she will go back to her family to effect a change
Yeah.
in her family. So I don't see any reason why you would sideline the girls when it comes to education. And I don't know why anyone in this 21st century will look at kids that they have and think, you know what, a boy is preferable than a girl. Look at what happened in China when they were trying to deal with their overpopulation, and then they had this one-child policy. It got to a point where people were like, okay, one-child policy, if I have a girl, I don't want a girl, that fetus is going to go. Let me have a boy. Now you have a situation where you now have more boys than girls. The boys have grown up to become men, and they don't have partners to get married to. India had to have a law saying you can't even have a scan to know the sex of your child, because people were aborting fetuses that were female, because they felt that the male fetus or having a male baby was way better than having a female. I just hope that somehow, some way, this mentality will change. It hasn't changed. You would think that right now things will change. It still hasn't changed. We're still dealing with this. And then when you come to education, where they say, oh, we have like maybe 5 girls, 1 boy, we're going to educate the boys. Sometimes these families are poor. These people come from poor homes, so they don't even have enough funds to educate all the kids. So they will feel like,
let's focus on
one person that we feel we're investing in, and
maybe
most of the time
bright enough for their own
it's not even thinking the brightest one. If it was a case of actually the brightest one, it would be any sex at all that they will send to school. It is almost always the boy they will send. If they can't afford to send their kids to school, it is almost always, especially if they have a male child, it is that boy that they will send to school.
But do you think that the reason why they would always push the boys, because they think that because the way society is really, really tough, so a man would be able to, withstand all the pressure and everything, but for a lady, she would just, break down at every slightest inconvenience, and she just like, I gotta go home to my mommy, I cannot do this. Do you think that that's the reason why people just, push that whole, let's push the boy and just leave the girl behind?
Do you know the funny thing? That could actually be a reason. But the people who are very strong and very resilient, or even the girls, they will go through so much, and they'll be like, you know what, this is the only way that my life can change. This is the only way that my family's life can change. I have to do everything I can to get this education, and they will do everything they can to get the education. So I don't even know why they feel like women are the weaker sex. We aren't.
We're not. We're actually not. I used to have a friend, and she's not the only girl. There are about 4 or so, 2 boys, 2 girls, and then they all went to school. But amongst all of them, like we said, it's the girls that actually held the home. And before the father died, he was like, I just wished you girls were the boys. Like, I just wished you came out as the boys, and then the first set of children that I have, because the first 2 boys are the first and second, and then we'll have the 2 girls ahead. So he's not comfortable with the way the boys are living their life, and he wished.
But why couldn't he
why
just
was
be
he
happy
happy that
with
the girls were the ones doing
you
the
guys?
Why
Why do you have to wish that they were
I never
boys?
said it to their face. They're not like, So why do you have to even say it?
Sorry, I feel like my papa made that death concrete. Which kind of talk be that? Like, what do you mean? This guy is a mistake.
Okay, we're still watching Hot Banter with Banter Queens on Universal TV Africa. We'll quickly go on a short break. When we come back, we'll continue from where we stopped.
You are still watching Hot Banter on Universal Television Africa with your banter queens, Elgiva, the senior woman, and Ajebo, the posh lady. And our conversation today is on girl-child education. So right now, we want to talk about the barriers that girls face to this to getting an education. Before we went on the break, I said something about basically economic constraints. The fact that some of these girls come from homes where they don't have a lot, like the parents are poor, and so instead of sending the girls to school because they feel like, oh, this education is going to be a waste, they would rather send the boys to school. That is one of the barriers. Another barrier is
we have culture, marriage.
Early marriage.
Yes, it's
Early marriage is one of it as well.
let's talk about early marriage before we it even ties into the cultural and social norms as well, because some people will say it's our culture once or our religion or our societal norms that once the girl starts menstruating, she's ripe already for marriage. She shouldn't even be going to school, or she can't. There are some people that will say the man should come and train her so that she will now go to school. That's the person that is going to marry her should be the one to train her, which is basically grooming, because you did not see any adult woman to marry. It's a prepotent child that you saw.
That like things, when they do things like that, you just trap the girl. You trap her because it's almost like she's indebted to you.
She is indebted.
The family too is indebted to you, because maybe some. I remember one movie that I watched. It was the parents were owning the man, so because they couldn't pay the man, they gave off their very young daughter to him as far as payment.
Thank you for that. You do know that there is a village in Cross River State where they give out their daughters as how do I put it? But let's say as loans. No, like you maybe your father went to get a loan from someone, and he gives you as collateral. As young as 12, as young as 13.
Is it just the girl child?
Yeah, just the girl. No, which is the girls that they are giving as collateral. So they become what they call them, money wives. Yes, they become money wives because your father is owing and can't pay. You are the collateral. In short, as he's collecting the loan, you are the collateral.
So when you give your girl child as collateral,
that's marriage.
What if the man doesn't want to marry her? Can he?
That's what you just trap
her.
It is the man
who has decided that he wants your daughter
in his custody.
So even if he doesn't want to marry her, even if he doesn't take care of her, and that is how the cycle of poverty continues.
Yeah.
Because you have these really young girls who are not going to school, who are not educated, who don't know anything, and some of them are even, as young as they are carrying children, which is so sad. So
a child taking care of a child.
You're not going to school.
You see a child of 14 pregnant because we said if a girl child or a girl starts menstruating, she's ripe for marriage. And so if you
marry her off.
Okay, so if you start menstruating, you can also get pregnant as well. So you see a 14, 15-year-old girl.
Some even younger.
Pregnant, and they can't cope. But because of these cultural reasons, the early marriage and all that they're being, I just feel it also tempers with their mental.
Psychologically, they're I don't even know, they are traumatized.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for a word.
Psychologically, they are now when something like that happened to a girl, she doesn't think that she's deserving of anything good. Yes, even if you give her something good, she feels like you want to get something in return, or you're doing something because you want to get something in return. So automatically in her head, you have formed that kind of thing. Like it's a trade by barter kind of system she has in her head. So even if you want to educate her, for example, she says, "What is in it for
you? Yes.
Why do you want me to go to school? What do you want to get out of me?
In return, it's like
are you sending me to school out of the goodness of your heart?
Or
sending me to school you want
Mm-hmm.
something at the end of it. It's just a sad situation, and this is why we say give her a pen and not a penis.
Yes, give her a pen, and that's why for the fact that we all have roles to play in all of this. How can we make sure that when it comes to girl child education, there's enough sensitization, enough awareness, there's enough, because
before we talk about sensitization and stuff, I want to talk about one more barrier to the girl child education that a lot of people don't really talk about, and that is period poverty. there are some girls, in short, not like there are some girls, there are girls that once their period starts, they're unable to go to school because they don't have access to sanitary pads.
Yeah.
You understand? Especially now that with the with the rising costs of or with things, the prices of things increasing every day. Girls aren't even able to afford sanitary pads anymore. Some have to wait for the benevolence of people,
All
strangers,
these
and these
NGOs.
NGOs to
Yeah.
give them.
Give them.
And which is why I
yeah,
like what most of these NGOs are doing, are giving them reusable pads,
pads.
and then
Yes, you
teaching
can
them how
wash
to
them,
use
yeah.
menstrual cups, because those ones you can use them for a long time. All you have to just do is wash them, and you're good to go. So when they don't have access to these things, because some of them will use rags. How does that work? Some of them will say, when my period starts, I don't have sanitary towels. So what do I? Some of them are free bleeding, so they'll just stay at home until they are done. And that's, while their mates are in school studying,
Yeah, they're
they are at
not
home, so they are
Nurse it.
behind. Some will just say, you know what, forget about this. I'm not even going to the school again. Maybe they were staying in class, like, oh my god, this is embarrassing.
And they
I'm
not
no
going to
longer
show
going
up
back
at
to
school.
So period poverty is also a barrier to girls getting an education.
Another one
Yeah.
is early pregnancy.
Teen pregnancy.
Yeah, we actually left that. When they get pregnant at a very early stage, it's also a barrier because you don't want to go to school for your mates to see that you only be going to school with pregnancy.
Yeah,
So
talking
you have
about
to
going to
stay.
school with pregnancy. You go to school and the school finds out you're pregnant and they're
Pregnant.
expelling you.
Why
Why
are
are
you
you expelling her?
So you have to come back home and then be at home for 9 months until you have that child before you.
And even
Look at
after
that,
having
look
a
at
child, you can't even still go back
Go
to
back.
school.
Thank you, because you have
Your
to nurse.
education
You have
has
period
had
of nursing.
Your education has basically ended.
Then now in
What's
the country where it's so insecure, like we are struggling with our security. You're not even sure. The Chibok girls, they went to school, and after that, what happened?
Anyway, in school when they.
You were in school, so now a lot of other parents now have fears. Like,
What I said.
the place is not secure. The distance from our house to a good school is far. I will not take my child there, and I'm not sure of their security. Oh yeah, Kuku just. They were I feel they
Let
use
me
my
be
eye.
seeing you.
And that's caused a barrier. Before you know it, that's it.
No more school.
The girl never goes to school again.
And she gets used
She's
to
at home, and then because she's at home, you've turned her to housemaid. That's what she does. She now
does
runs
all the chores.
chores, runs errands, and that's not the reason why I give her to the child. Not because you want the child to be doing maybe
All the
menial
things.
jobs. Because you are giving birth to a child because you want to give that child a better life. You're giving birth to a child because you want to make sure that that child becomes something very reasonable. That's why I'm saying that we all have a role to play. We have to make sure that we are also doing our best to also, as we are doing now, speaking about it, so people are educated and they are more enlightened that okay, this is not how you run things. When it comes to girls are really sensitive.
Do we think peer pressure is also one of the barriers?
Well, I've seen in some cases where you see your friend, for example, this is a random name, let's say Nkechi, for example. Nkechi never went to school, but she's balling. Like she's living la vida loca. And then you're looking
So
at
it's
yourself.
not all about going to school.
Yeah, it's not really all about going to school. And the girls like, I don't even need to go to school. Look at this babe. So I can also ball and I don't have to be in school. So I think yes, it could be one. We've had lifestyle changes these days. What was obtainable before is not what's obtainable now.
No.
And now I don't see. If you use iPack Shukuna, you
don't go
360 if you do like this. So
no.
now you see that girls are now like, I don't really need to. All these things is just wishy
You don't
washy.
see young girls in secondary school, very young girls, and their conversation is, oh, I need a man who can take care of me, I need a man who can spend on me, and I'm like,
At this age,
you haven't
In
even.
secondary school.
Where is the man in school? Wait, is it your classmates that
That's what I guess
you come and spend on?
Except
they're still paying their school fees for
You
them.
see even wearing
This
boxers
is
in
getting-
secondary school.
It's wearing pants. Forgive us, man. So you see, all of these things are really like major barriers, and there are things that are happening every day. We see that every day. We see these things happening. That in the 21st century, some people still have a very myopic thinking about girls. So when it comes to us as people, we need to do is sensitize people, educate them more. We also have roles that our government and even NGOs have to play, especially the government policy making. We need to start making policies that incorporate the how important it is to educate a girl. We need to be able to do that. Non-advocacy, all of these things, because we can be talking, we just be pouring water inside the basket if we don't take actions into all of these things. Yes.
I think it was been up when former President Olusegun Obasanjo's regime that we had this policy where it was compulsory for your kids to be in school. Like
Yeah,
they didn't
yes,
want to
don't see your child outside.
see
And your child is at home.
is at home when they're supposed to be in school, especially and
Or
the
walking
government
or doing
schools
something,
and the government schools were free.
Mm.
Even as at now, even though the standard of education in the government schools have kind of dropped, but education there is subsidized so that any other person, they don't pay tuition. The only thing you pay for is uniform.
It's just
Yes.
uniform.
Yes, and then you
They
get
don't
your
provide
books.
books.
They provide the
textbooks,
all of that.
They even provide textbooks for them.
Yes,
Yes, they do.
They
You
sure
just
you
get
get your own
uniform
books.
and you're good to go.
So
They just need you to show up at
they
school.
just need to show up at school. But some parents will say, no, life is too hard. We need these children to go and be hawking on the streets. You at the time when children are supposed to be in school, one small child is running on the streets selling a banana. The one that breaks my heart the most is late at night when kids are supposed to be at home sleeping. You see them running on the streets trying to sell their wares. I'm like, I don't care how poverty stricken you are. Why is your child out late at night? Why are you putting that child, and this is not just for the girl, for the boys as well. Why are you endangering your child? Because you are looking
the age that they are already.
You have predators out there who prey on children, whether they are male or female. Why? Look, even if you say you want your child to sell, maybe after school, daytime, they'll come and meet you in the market, they'll help you sell your wares, hawk on the streets or something, that is fine. But once it's evening,
Please
5,
let
let them be at home. But you see some kids on the street at 10, 11,
Odd
that's not
hours.
coming outside by 11 p.m. But they are out there on the streets trying to sell their wares. Why? Why are
The
they
most
enjoying their
annoying
lives?
part, the most annoying part is you even see them with their mothers. Not alone. You see their mothers as well, walking on the streets with the kids, like you bring all of
Or
them to the
begging.
street.
Or begging.
Do what you want to do late at night by yourself,
don't
but don't
involve the
involve
kids.
the
Yes, let them rest because it's their formative years and they need to grow, they need to learn. Let a child be a child. Stop forcing a child to be an adult. I get that situations are a bit critical or dicey, but stop forcing a child to be an adult. Let that child be a child. And as we're talking, I just remember that yes, we know it's the girl child, but boys and men can also support
Yes.
the girl child. These days we wake up and there's gender-based violence caused by men. You need to get your act together. Remember there was a story of a 15-year-old boy who entered into the home of his classmates and raped her and used the pistol to smash her head.
Yeah.
Please help me explain why. What was our offense? Who did we offend? May I know my offense? May I know my offense? So things like that. So if boys now start saying, you see, girls are precious. They start teaching them from cradle. You see, girls, they are precious. They should be treated with respect. They should be treated with dignity.
The same respect you give to your friends should be the same respect you give to your kids.
That's the way you can support. I feel like parents should start teaching their children that even if it's only boys you have in your house, you start saying, you see mommy here. Mommy is a symbol of strength, a symbol of this. I'm not saying this so that you'll be making the mother to be feeling like small peacock. No, because if that is what she's doing, give her flowers so that when they grow, they can now know that when they see a girl, she's to be treated with respect. She's supposed to be treated like this, not that the one that you wake up and I don't even understand the kind of men. The story for you talk for another day.
And that thing where parents of male kids, you know when you're in class and they say first position and like it's a girl and they're like
How can you allow a
girl to come first? How can they allow a girl to be class prefect? It doesn't matter. Is the person intelligent enough? Don't make it look like, oh, it's a girl. Why should a girl come first? That's why you breed unhealthy competition.
So I remember when our last card, like our last born, was still in secondary school. So he came second, and the girl came first. He was coming home with his results. His eyes were all red. He had cried from school home. What happened? I imagine the girl came first in his class. I was not like, well, you didn't do well. If you did well, you'd have come first. He said, but she's a girl. I said, excuse me.
Really, excuse me.
Excuse me. But
Like,
she's human.
were you not in the same class? Were you not
Class.
receiving the same lesson?
Thank you.
And
So
then
why
the
would you
next
think
time,
because she's a girl?
he had to, he
Buckle
had to
up.
buckle up so he can come first. Okay, so that's it on Hot Banter with the Banter Queens on Universal TV Africa.
My name is Elvina, the gift that keeps on giving. I just want to say that please educate your girl child. Educate your girl child. That's all. Thank you.
As a senior one signing out and letting you know that when you educate a girl child, you're transforming the entire society. Stay tuned and stay glued always to Universal Television Africa.